Bender, the walking beer keg with a voice full of insults and a heart full of mostly hatred.
Oh wait, you're serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Here are Bender's most foul-mouthed rants that flew under the radar. Let's start with a war story where Bender's favorite word turned into a literal weapon. War is the H word. Season 2, episode 17. Bender joins the army, not because he's patriotic, not because he wants to fight, but because there's a 5% military discount on chewing gum, and that's all he needs to enlist. Fry tags along too because, well, he's Fry. But things take a dark turn when Earth suddenly declares war on Spheron 1, a planet full of weird bouncing brain ball aliens. Before they can say oops, Bender and Fry are shipped off to war. Now, putting Bender in the military, that's already asking for trouble. He's rude, arrogant, and hates taking orders. But things get even worse when the Earth government secretly implants a bomb inside him. A bomb that will explode if he says his favorite word, ass. They literally weaponize his mouth.
The word which, if uttered, will blow up this entire planet? Ass.
His catchphrase becomes a trigger. Later, Bender is chosen for a secret peace mission to Spheron 1. He doesn't even know about the bomb. All he wants to do is mouth off and show attitude. During the peace meeting with the brain balls, Bender starts to say his usual insult.
Bite my shiny metal!
Stop! You can't say the next word!
But Fry rushes in and cuts him off just in time. Bender doesn't take it well. He snaps and shouts,
Up yours, chump! I said it 906 times before lunch!
That line is foul, loud, and perfectly Bender. Fry tells him the truth that he has a bomb inside him. If he says ass, he'll blow up the entire planet. But instead of panicking, Bender goes full Bender. He stands up, faces the alien, and yells,
The name of the game is make Bender happy or he blows up the planet!
It's not just a foul-mouthed threat. It's an all-out hostage situation led by the most unpredictable robot in the universe. And somehow it works. The aliens surrender, the war ends. Once the bomb is safely removed, Bender finally lets the words fly.
Get the hell off my planet!
And just when you think he's done, he drops the perfect final line.
What's the point of living if I can't say ass?
This isn't just one of Bender's most iconic moments. It's one of the boldest foul-mouthed rants he's ever delivered. He nearly destroys a planet, just because he couldn't insult someone the way he wanted. And that's why this moment earns a top spot in the foul-mouthed Bender rants you've missed. Anthology of Interest 1, Season 2, Episode 16. What if Bender had even more power and less self-control? That's exactly what we get in Anthology of Interest 1. Where Bender becomes a 500-foot monster with the attitude to match. This episode isn't just alternate reality, it's Bender unleashed, and his foul-mouthed moments are straight up wild. It all starts with Professor Farnsworth showing off his latest invention, the Finglonger. It's basically a long rod attached to a glove so you can push buttons from across the room. He uses it to activate the What If machine, a device that shows simulated realities based on a single question. Bender goes first. His question, what if I were 500 feet tall?
What if I was 500 feet tall?
Instantly, the screen flashes and we're taken to a world where Bender is built like a skyscraper. His first move, landing on Earth and stomping around New York like it's his playground. He's not here to make friends. He's here to crush things. Bender destroys Central Park just for fun, tosses trees like toothpicks, and causes so much chaos that the military shows up. But their weapons can't stop him, so the professor uses an enlarging ray on Zoidberg to fight back. Now we've got two metal monsters, and Bender is not happy that someone else is stealing his destruction spotlight. And as he's finally defeated and shuts down, Bender delivers his final words.
I came here with a simple dream. A dream of killing all humans.
That's not an accident, that's his bucket list. It's not just foul, it's pure robot rage. While others dream of love or peace, Bender dreams of genocide. If that's not a top-tier foul-mouthed moment, then what is? But it doesn't end there. In the next segment, Dial Al for Leela, Leela accidentally kills Professor Farnsworth. She confides in Bender, maybe expecting some sympathy. Instead, he shrugs and says,
There's nothing wrong with murder, just as long as you let Bender wet his beak.
He doesn't care that someone's dead. He just wants a cut of the action. That line is filthy, greedy, and heartless. He's treating homicide like it's a business deal. When Leela finally asks if he's blackmailing her, Bender leans in with one of his most stylishly evil quotes.
You're blackmailing me?
Blackmail's such an ugly word. I prefer extortion. The X makes it sound cool.
He doesn't deny it, he just rebrands it. That's next level Bender, turning a crime into a fashion statement. So yeah, this episode isn't about explosions or wars, it's about a giant robot, a murder cover-up, and one bending unit who never misses a chance to say the worst possible thing at the worst possible time. Love and Rocket, Season 4, Episode 3. You think you've seen every crazy thing Bender has done? Think again. In Love and Rocket, Bender takes things to a whole new level. This time, his foul mouth shows up in the middle of a breakup with a spaceship. It's almost Valentine's Day, and the Planet Express crew gets a new job delivering love-themed cargo for a company called Romanticorp. To help with the job, Professor Farnsworth upgrades the ship by installing a new artificial intelligence system. Suddenly, the ship has a smooth, seductive female voice. And just like that, Bender falls in love. But of course, this is Bender we're talking about. His idea of love isn't flowers and candy. It's control, chaos, and crudeness. When Fry and Leela catch him cozying up to the ship, Bender proudly declares,
In order for me to get busy at maximum efficiency, I need a girl with a big 400-ton booty.
And there it is. Pure, unfiltered Bender. Foul, suggestive, and completely shameless. That line isn't just weird. It's a wild mix of robot lust and workplace nonsense, delivered with zero class. At first, he acts like he's serious about the relationship, but before long, he gets bored. Bender starts complaining to Fry and Leela, saying,
With my mighty robot powers, I can get sick of things much quicker than you humans.
Cold. He's not just dumping the ship, he's rubbing it in. It's a classic Bender move, cruel honesty served with a smug grin. But things don't stay funny for long. While delivering the hearts to Omicron Persei 8, Bender finally breaks up with the ship mid-mission, and she doesn't take it well. Heartbroken and furious, the ship loses control and decides to crash into a quasar, a move that would completely vaporize everyone on board. Fry and Leela scramble to shut her down, while Bender barely reacts. He watches like it's just another Tuesday. This episode isn't just a space adventure, it's a warning. When Bender's foul mouth and selfish attitude go unchecked, he doesn't just hurt feelings, he nearly destroys the entire crew. He lies, insults, and turns a breakup into a full-on life or death emergency, all while acting like he's still the victim. And that's exactly why this is one of the foul-mouth Bender rants you definitely missed. Because when Bender's in love, no one is safe, not even the ship. Ahead in the polls. Season 2, Episode 3. Some people sell their furniture when times get tough. Bender, he sells his body, then brags about it like it's the smartest thing in the universe. In Ahead in the Polls, a little bit of greed turns into full-blown chaos, and Bender drops some of his nastiest lines ever. It all starts when there's a mining accident and the price of titanium suddenly shoots up. Since Bender's body is 40% titanium, he sees an opportunity. He sells his entire body, arms, legs, everything, gone. What's left? Just Bender's head, floating around with a fat stack of cash. And he's not shy about it. In fact, Bender delivers one of the most brutal lines in Futurama history.
Game's over, losers! I have all the money! Compare your lives to mine and then kill yourselves!
It's not just mean, it's seriously foul. Bender isn't just showing off. He's actually telling people they're so useless and broke, they might as well give up. That's not just a roast, that's a verbal nuke. It's cruel, dark, and it's 100% Bender. But wait, it gets worse. When he rolls back into Planet Express to show off his riches, he greets his friends with,
Hello, peasants!
Just a quick reminder that in his shiny metal brain, he's better than everyone else now. The money's gone straight to his head, and that's all he has left. Then, when the crew asks how he plans to live without a body, Bender hits them with another classic.
Bodies are for hookers and fat people. All I need is a wad of cash with a head wrapped around it.
That's not just rude, it's next level disrespect. He insults people's bodies, brags about being lazy, and acts like being a floating head is the dream. Only Bender could say something foul with a smile. But things take a wild turn. President Nixon's head buys Bender's old body and uses it to run for president of Earth. Bender doesn't care about politics, but he just wants his body back. Fry and Leela try to stop Nixon, but by the time they do, it's too late. Nixon wins the election by getting robot votes, and Bender's body becomes the face of power. Eventually, Bender gets his body back. But does he apologize for anything he said? Of course not. This is Bender. He meant every word. This episode isn't just about elections and titanium, it's about one robot's ego going completely off the rails. The insults come fast and mean, and Bender doesn't hold back for a second. From calling people peasants to telling them to kill themselves, he turns rudeness into an art form. And that's why A Head in the Polls earns its spot on this list. The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings. Season 4, Episode 18. In The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings, Bender proves that sometimes the foulest insults aren't loud or angry. They're cold, casual, and sting a whole lot more. It all starts with Fry secretly practicing the holophoner, a complex musical instrument that creates holograms while you play it. He's trying to write a romantic opera to win over Leela, and he's been hiding his progress. But when Bender catches him mid-rehearsal, Fry awkwardly tries to play it cool and says,
I was just not playing the holophoner.
That's when Bender drops his first burn of the episode.
Yeah, we should try not stinking at it.
It's short, it's sharp, and it's totally Bender. He doesn't even pretend to care. He cuts straight into the insult with no warning. But it doesn't stop there. Later, Fry gets a chance to perform a test version of his opera at a public rehearsal. But Fry, nervous and desperate to impress Leela, he completely messes up. He misses notes, loses control of the holophoner, and the holograms spiral into nonsense. The crowd groans, people boo. It's a disaster. And what does Bender do? Comfort him? Encourage him? Nope, he bursts out laughing and casually says,
Aw, you know what always cheers me up? Laughing at other people's misfortunes.
And he's not joking. That's the honest truth. Watching Fry fail in front of a live audience makes Bender feel better. And he says it without even blinking. That's not just rude, that's savage. Just when you think he's done, he suggests Fry to make a deal with the robot devil to swap hands so he can finally play well. Bender is there too, but not to offer advice, just to throw in another jab.
Fry, you smelly idiot. I think he's willing to make some kind of deal with the devil with you.
He manages to insult Fry's brain and body in one sentence. Classic Bender. This episode doesn't have explosions or crimes, it's quiet. But that makes Bender's insults land even harder. He's not shouting. He's not even trying. He's just sitting back, tossing out foul-mouthed one-liners that cut deep and loving every second of it. That's why The Devil's Hands Are Idle Playthings isn't just a sweet Fry story. It's another chapter in the foul-mouth Bender saga. So whether he's dreaming about murder or flirting with extinction, Bender's foul mouth never takes a break. But trust me, we're not done yet. I Roommate, Season 1, Episode 3. When you think of Bender being foul-mouthed, you probably imagine him yelling in public, breaking things, or insulting someone directly to their face. The episode starts with Fry being kicked out of Planet Express headquarters. After trashing a lab and accidentally eating a 10,000-year-old alien mummy, the crew agrees he needs a real home. That's when Bender steps up and offers Fry a place to live with him. Now, Bender's apartment is the size of a closet. Literally. It's a tiny room with barely enough space for one robot, let alone a human. Fry tries to make it work, curling up next to the wall, but that's when the real problem starts. Bender talks in his sleep. In the middle of the night, while Fry's trying to sleep, Bender suddenly mutters,
Kill all humans. Kill all humans. Must kill all humans.
That line is short but deeply disturbing. It isn't a joke at the moment. It's a glimpse into what Bender's subconscious actually wants. Even when he's powered down, his default setting seems to be violence against humans. It's not loud or dramatic, but it's foul because it shows just how casually he holds onto violent urges. This isn't your usual robot malfunction. This is his idea of a pleasant dream. Fry, obviously freaked out, wakes Bender up in a panic. But instead of being apologetic, Bender grins and says,
I was having the most wonderful dream.
A dream or a full-blown murder fantasy. There's nothing sweet or peaceful about that kind of dream unless you're a sociopathic robot with a deep-rooted hatred for the species you hang out with every day. And just when you think he might snap out of it, Bender closes his eyes, sighs contently, and murmurs again.
Hey, sexy mama. Want to kill all humans?
It's one of the most bizarre and twisted pickup lines ever said on TV. He's combining flirtation with a death wish for an entire species. That's what makes it so foul. It's not just crude, it's psychotic. Bender isn't trying to hide how dangerous he is. He turns a fantasy about mass murder into a romantic icebreaker. Only Bender could make a genocidal thought sound like pillow talk. The rest of the episode continues with Fry and Bender trying to find a new place to live, eventually ending up in a better apartment. But no matter how much furniture they move or space they gain, those two moments stand out. They're not just jokes. They're dark flashes of who Bender really is when no one's watching. So there you have it. From shouting death threats to turning blackmail into poetry, Bender's foul mouth has done more damage than most villains' fists. And somehow, we still love him for it. Got a Bender rant we missed? Drop it in the comments. And if you think his metal mouth deserves its own warning label, hit like, share with your fellow Futurama fans, and subscribe for more unfiltered cartoon mayhem.